Hi everyone, it's Catie Harris, the Nursepreneur Mentor, and today I wanted to answer a couple questions that I frequently get, especially when I go into the media, because the first thing that I get asked is, what kind of businesses can nurses start? And it's something that not just media and the general public ask me, it's a lot of other nurses or even healthcare providers ask me the same thing. And, the answer, because I think there's that feeling that if you're a dentist or a lawyer or a physician, you just go out and start a practice in whatever it is that you do. So then the thought is, well, nurses, what kind of practice could they start? And it really is, it comes down to you can start a business in basically anything you want. So if you think of yourself as an entrepreneur, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that don't have a nursing skill set or even any kind of like a major background in an expertise. So one, you have a leg up because you have this additional skill set, knowledge base, expertise. And two, you can look at what other entrepreneurs are doing and incorporate it into nursing. So, for instance, there's health coaching, right? So there's a lot of people that are out there doing health coaching that have no medical background, no science background, no nutrition background, no health background for that matter. Maybe they're just really passionate about it. And, that's fine. And I'm sure they do a great job. But now think about that from a nursing perspective. If you took health coaching and you taught people with cancer specifically, or breast cancer, or you were health coach for, let's say, back patients after surgery, post-surgical type of health coach, or a heart failure health coach. So then it becomes very specific. It becomes a niche within a niche. And then the other thing that you can consider for businesses, I wanted to run you through a few of my students and people that are in my groups about what they're doing to give you an idea to think about what it is that you can do. Because there's so many things, the list is a mile long, and it really all comes down to what you're interested in and the type of audience you want to work with and the type of business model you want to do. So if you want to be a speaker and on stage, there's a business model, and we can take basically any topic and put you on stage. Now, if being on stage, you're like, no, that's not for me at all. Well, then there's other options for you. Maybe you want to be doing online courses or webinars or something that's not as scary as being on stage. All right, so what I want to do is share my screen. Let's hope this works. And whoop, there I go. Okay, what I want to do is walk through a couple of these websites just to give you an idea of things that you could do that are a little out of the box or maybe you hadn't thought of them. So the first one, this is my student Kimball. She has elite concierge nurses. She does exclusive surgical care. She helps patients navigate the details of their surgical procedure for stress-free healing. Okay, so this is something that you can do. Now, she has these various services. This is something that's relatively straightforward to set up. And then she has these different packages, testimonials, and yeah, I mean, it's just a really great business model for nurses in particular, especially because it requires your knowledge as a nurse, but in a way, she calls herself the surgery coach. You are a type of health coach helping patients, but you can offer so much more because you're a nurse and you understand these things. So this is one type of business model that you can do. Another one that's trending, that's really popular, is IV hydration. So offering IV services in-house, at parties, in your own clinic if you want. You can provide these various services as IV hydration. And you don't need to be a doctor to do it. You can be a nurse and partner with a doctor. That's something that's a possibility. So there's lots of ways that you can do this. All right, so the next one is my student Lori, who is the DMP coach, and she offers assistance with your DNP scholarly project. So she helps you she coaches you through what it is. And, at some level, you might think, well, isn't that what your committee's for? And you would think, yes, your committee should be helping you to do this, but not all committees are the same. And there are a lot of people that need additional support that their committees don't give them. So she helps these doctoral nursing students to, one, either edit their paper. She can do a dry run. She can coach you through writing the paper, which is not typically standard doctoral level coursework. Okay, they don't teach you how to write a scholarly paper. They assume you know how to write one. So that's something she took her passion for writing and medical editing. Now, Gwen, also my student, has the Jewel Nursing Solutions, and she has created this backbone wedge that 100% prevents bed sores from ever happening. And so now she's in the process of marketing this. So product development, that piece can be very, very expensive. And this is a very expensive business model to get up and running, because it took her a good 3 years to develop and design this prototype using her own money. So she was so passionate about it. She couldn't help herself. She had to do this. It was in her. She couldn't stop herself from doing it. She spent a lot of money to bring this wedge to market. And now she's showing patients how to use it. They like to have 2 of them so that they are literally floating in air. But this was a great idea that she had. So that's what she's doing now, is going around and showing people how this is working and how it's 100% preventing pressure sores from happening in the first place. Crystal is another student of mine who's working on self-care. She is looking at the physical, mental aspects of physical care for nurses, and has developed lotion and is working on a line of self-care products for nurses. So that's another avenue. So self-care is a huge category. You could approach it from mental health or mindset, physical activity, diet, nutrition. There's meditation, there's a combination, lifestyle changes for nurses. And it doesn't even just have to be for nurses. Think about patients who also need self-care, or caregivers who need self-care. So those are options for nursing businesses. This is Jana Champagne, and she does integrated holistic care. And really what they do is help you to choose the type of medical marijuana that might be best for you. She does some epigenetic interpretations, but she really helps you to understand what it is that you need in health and wellness. So our nurses specialize in applied cannabis therapeutics. So there's a lot of CBD oils out there, and everybody's kind of pushing a variety of quality stuff. So one of the things that I think is really missing is this educational piece, where you explain to patients what's the good, what's the junk, what's the, who can they trust to tell them what's real. Another variation on education is the placenta. So this is Heather. Let's see a picture of Heather. There's Heather. And she is working through the art of traditional Chinese medicine. She's a certified placenta encapsulation specialist, and she brings this to mothers who are about to give birth. And if they want to have their placenta encapsulated, she's a specialist and she can do all of this stuff. So she's bringing her passion for preventing postpartum depression and offering this service to new expecting mothers. That's really amazing. Okay, so she's figured out how to do this. And then, of course, there's Noreen Connolly, who's also one of my students, who has developed the Pro Health Nurses, and she's based out of Boston. She's doing an excellent job in concierge nursing, another concierge nursing model. So she had this model before I worked with her. But we did do some things together, and she has done an absolutely amazing job. You can see how beautiful her website is here. Yeah, and this is something that she's really was drawn to private duty. She had a passion for doing this. She's done an excellent job, and it's moved into things that she wasn't expecting, right? So let me come back here. Whoop. Okay. One of the things that she wasn't expecting was all the opportunities that came up, and same with Kimball, who has Elite Concierge Nurses. She wasn't expecting the opportunities that would arise from putting herself out there. So her business, Elite Concierge Nurses, is expanding outside of the narrow focus that she had. But to get started, we had to have a narrow focus. But anyway, so these are some of the things that nurses are doing, and the possibility of what you can do really just kind of is, it's really about what it is that you love to do, the audience that you want to work with, the problem that they have, and the solution that you can offer. So it's, in some ways, it's hard to say what nurses can do. So I always say, what can't nurses do in a lot of ways. So I hope this is helpful to just kind of jumpstart some ideas. If you want to join our Facebook group, there's a free Facebook group for nurses. A lot of nurses throw out ideas there, and I do the best that I can. It's a pretty large group, but to help you with that. And if you have questions, you can always put them under here. I respond to as much as I can. And I'd love to help you kind of formulate your idea to see what it is that you can do that would be viable, profitable, and just make good business sense. So hope this is helpful. I'll talk to you guys later. Hi, Sharina.